All right, 10:03. Let's get started. I want some wins for the week. Who wants to start? Give me some wins.
Brent came down to Northridge. That was a nice.
Yeah, just pump the brakes, Nate. You're going to get your minute, but I want you to talk about it, but I want to talk about people that had wins this week.
Oh, okay. I gotta take.
Escrows closed, new listing.
I got one.
Go ahead, Sid.
Well, the market's shifting here, and I had one buyer that we put in 4 different offers and kept getting beat out. They just didn't have the resource to do the heavy, overbidding.
Yeah.
We finally won and finally got him under contract. And yeah, I love my clients, and he's a pastor, and I'm just like, we got one for you, and it's a great house. So
Tell
that
me,
is a huge win.
tell me how you won over that hurdle on this one.
On this one, and like all the others, like we started take away, he's one of those 3% down people, doesn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we kept taking away buyers paid closing costs. Even, let me see, what else were we doing? Offering rent back was another. I even lowered my buyer's agent commission just a smidge, just because I usually charge more, but I was like trying to help him win.
Yeah.
On that one, it was seller paid buyer's agent commission just because he does not have the budget to pay my buyer's agent commission. And, but we finally got it, and we were over asking price. So, but I've 4 times in the last 3 weeks have we been outbid.
Good for you, Sid. Congratulations.
Oh.
That's amazing. Who else has a great story like that? Jump in. Water's fine.
We've been taking a buyer out for a few weeks now, running into some stuff, and we finally got an offer accepted on Friday too. So we opened escrow on Friday as well for this buyer. Just did inspections this weekend, so we're happy there. Moving on, and we got another listing starting up in Lemoore, like I said, on the 27th. It will go active. So,
Congrats, Mike. What was the thing that got you the contract?
it was just the relationships, building it. I mean, talking early. We caught it early. We just kept calling and really letting them know that we're going to be on top of our stuff. And that was building that relationship with them and letting them know, hey, our offer is strong, but it's more than that. It's going to be the way that you deal with us.
Good. Congratulations. Is there anything going on in Studio City?
We're still on kind of a half hold on there, so we're waiting to talk to the lady, but we're working in it.
Okay. All right. Congratulations, Michael. Way to go. Who else? Who else has one? Come on. I need 2 more.
Well, I do have another one, but I already spoke.
Okay.
So we got our first, Portland's not as big a market like SoCal, where you get the higher priced luxury houses. Things over $1 million are a lot less fewer, but we got our first, one of our larger listings. So 1.4 million. And we're getting ready to go live here. And where we're putting all the EXP luxury tactics and strategies on it to really, really sell the property. So we're really excited about it.
What do you get for 1.4 there, Sid? What is it? Tell us a little bit about it. It's kind of nice to hear what goes in other parts of the country,
Yeah, so this is in a historic zone, and a ton of work has been done on it. It's like one of the original neighborhoods in Portland. And the remodeling done on the inside is all like, hardwood floors, really, really nice trim, quality trim, so yeah, has a really, really nice garage and shop in the back.
So it's like in a historic district in town.
It's in a historic district. It's in the original Portland, or, one of the suburbs of Portland. So yeah.
Very cool.
Good job. Good job. Okay. Anybody else? One more time. All right. We're going to move on. There was something that was happening down in LA, and evidently Nate's a lot sharper than I am, because I got this text from Brent Saturday morning at like 7 a.m. I knew nothing about it. Well, come to find out, I found out Nate was there, and I looked at his clip on Facebook today. So Nate, kind of tell us about the event and some highlights, if you don't mind.
I didn't know about it either until the 2 days before or a day before. I guess one of the EXP agents that runs the Canyon Country office, and his card is in my car. But I guess he set it up in Northridge, and it was at the Orchard Conference Center. There was about 70 people there. It was full. You had all your affiliates there and all the stuff. So he set it up.
It was in Northrop.
Northridge.
Northridge.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Northridge. Yeah. So Brent got a hold of me and he goes, "Hey, can you come down and help me? You know, we've got about 70 people. Can you come down and get up and we'll do this thing together?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't know anything about it." So I said, "Well, okay." So I moved a couple appointments around. I don't want to tell Brent no. He gives so much to all of us, you know. So yeah, we went down and he put one slide up on the screen and we talked. We just bantered, went back and forth. We didn't even go through his deck or anything. We just went back and forth for we did about an hour and a half, then maybe an hour and 15 minutes, and then the other person, that set the event, had some people speaking and stuff like that. It was a packed house. It was full. It was great. I had three new possible people to come to EXP there. I don't think anybody's telling a lot of the new people the rules. Like, don't be poaching everybody. Because I called my guy this morning and he said, yeah, they're already called me my massive amounts of times from the other group, one of those types of things. So I'm like, oh, gee. So that wasn't too encouraging. But my point is, if I would have known, maybe I should have known, I've done a little more research. But it was a great event. The energy was high in the room. Brent's energy was high, and I was fine. He was just asking me questions. So it was just stuff about selling real estate. So it wasn't anything that I didn't know, anything like that. So it was good. It was a good event. There was Leo, is his name Leo Robles? He came from Cucamonga. He was there with his crew, but they just came, I think, just to support Brent as well. But it was standing room only.
I heard Brent was sick.
He looked well. He looked really great. Like he's lost a ton of weight.
Yeah.
He looks really healthy, but he was drained to the like his eye. He could barely. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. So I
Yeah.
think he just needed some relief. I think that's why he needed me. He didn't really probably need me. Brent doesn't, of course, need me. But I think it was nice to be able to. He would sit and let me talk for 5 minutes and kind of catch his breath and get his mind. He talked right out of his notebook from his 10X event. He had just got back from 10X, and he was talking a lot about that. So he was going through notes and he just really did that. Then he would ask me questions and I respond. So I think it was just a way to give him a break. Is that, you know what I mean? Just to have a little different for him.
Yeah. After Cabo, after Grant Cardone, he was probably spent.
Yeah, he's so good at it. And I think the room, if I was to judge the room, it was definitely maybe newer agents but it wasn't, this wasn't a high velocity, big teams, nothing like that. These were single agents, just out there working, and which is fine. That's what it's all about. And it was about selling real estate. I think he did do a little EXP presentation, told everybody if they wanted to stay after anybody, but I left before that got started. So I think he might have done that. So
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad you were a part of it.
I didn't know either, though, Frank. I saw your text, and I just knew maybe one day before you did, and I just said yes and showed up.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad there was definitely someone there. Was there anybody else that's on the call that was there at Brent's event, or was Nate the only one? I guess not. Okay. Elgin, you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, E?
How you doing?
Good. How's things going with you?
No, I'm fine. Just working. Getting got a couple of offers in on a couple of properties. I'm negotiating today. Put a couple of buyers under. I don't do a lot of buyers, but put a couple of buyers under contract. They've been working with some other agents that were running them around, I guess, without a buyer broker's agreement. So I put them under contract and got them with another lender and that whole thing. A couple more listings coming up too that will be up first week of April. So just from the production side, just working, just staying focused and keeping my mind off of all the other stuff, and just pushing one foot in front of the other every day continuously.
Good.
And so everything is, everybody got challenges. I got them. Everybody got them. But no matter what, I still go forward. I don't go into the challenges. I just go forward. So we're good.
Okay, good. Good to hear. Good to hear. All right. So I'm seeing John Paul. What's going on with your mobile homes, bro?
I'm gonna do some open houses this weekend. I didn't do it last weekend. It was like my birthday, so I kind of took the weekend off. But I did do 2 open houses the week before, and then I'm gonna do them this week. I do still work like as a waiter bartender, so I just gotta switch my schedule to like a later shift for Saturday, so I could do both that day.
Right.
I'm gonna do some reverse prospecting. I barely saw how to do that like on the MLS, so I'm gonna do that for the one that I've had a little longer that kind of haven't had that much. Like at the beginning, I would have a lot more interest and not too much lately. So I'm also try to probably relist it. The buyer wanted to go down in price. So I don't know if I just should put it down or if I should just like relist it to have new eyes on it again. Because then it would look like it's a brand new listing again.
Sure. Okay. Good. Good to see you on the call. Daya, are you there?
Yeah, hi Frank. Good morning.
Good morning. How have you been?
Yeah, good.
Good. What could we help you with this morning?
Yeah, nothing much. I'm working with a couple of buyers from the past 10 days, and one of the buyer he bought a home, a new construction home, and yeah, I'm working with the different buyers. That's it.
Was this
Uh,
recently a purchase, or you're in contract, or how long ago was it?
Yeah, I'm in a contract. Last week, it's went in contract.
Well, congratulations. That's something you should be proud of.
Yeah, thank you, Frank.
Hey, you could come here to give you some atta girls. Believe me, no problem. Congratulations. I know you're one of those agents that you're real quiet on the call, but there's stuff going. You got a little fire going underneath you, and I really am proud of you.
Thank you so much, Frank. Yeah, and I'm having a one buyer. The negotiation is going on. Probably this week he will decide to move forward or not. We are negotiating with the purchase price.
Good.
Yeah,
Good job. Congratulations.
thank
Jamie
you.
Hernandez, are you in the house?
Yes, I am. Hi.
Hi, talk to us. What's going on with you?
Well, let me see. Me and Johnny did some open house this
Okay.
weekend, 2 days in a row. We had pretty good showing on Saturday. Probably about like 10 people showed up
Okay.
for interested buyers in the property. Let me see. On Sunday, let me see, the clients that came in, they actually came in again on Sunday. They bring their son, so gonna follow up with them and see, if they want to put in an offer.
Good for you. Congratulations. So what was the total people in 2 days, you think?
Well, Sunday, I think there was only like 4 people that showed up. Yeah.
So you had
And
14 then.
14, yeah. Mhm.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Good job. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, who else do I have on here before I call you? Who's that?
Rosa,
Rosa.
I did. Thank you so much. I think Michael for sending me one of your mentees to do that open house in Orange County on my Santa Ana condo. It's still available. It's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. I forget what he has an interesting name, but he did an open house. What's his name?
Partha.
Partha, yeah, yes. He did the open house yesterday, and he had a couple of people. Unfortunately, it was a bit slow. But it's
Rosa, how
still-
long's it been on the market?
December. We're going on 3 months, 4 months actually. We're going on 4 months.
Híjole.
Híjole, man. I lowered the price a little bit, but there's room, and he will cooperate. So if anybody has anyone moving to that area, 1 bedroom, 1 bath at 397 for now, but it's always, negotiable. And then I did open house at that one listing Robert and I have in Simi Valley. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful property. That one was busy, but it's obviously it's a high-end property, 1.797. That's what they're asking. It's an equestrian area at the bridle path.
Oh yeah.
It was busy, but like I said, it's going to take that special buyer, someone that likes horses and wants property. So a lot of looky-loos, but it was busy.
So Rosa, let me ask you a question, not to put you on the spot, but I'm doing this as kind of a teaching moment for everybody on the call. What would you list that house at in Santa Ana if it was up to you?
375 highest.
Okay. Have you had that conversation with your seller?
Yes. Problem is we bought it just a year ago and they bought it at 363. So he's trying to at least break even.
Oh.
Yeah. A lot of people are looking at it. There's showings almost every week, but it's going to take a special buyer too for that little area.
Okay. Nate or Elgin and Michael, do you have anything to help Rosa? Maybe a suggestion to help her get this thing off the market?
Elgin, go ahead, because I'm sorry, Rose, but I didn't hear the details. I've got a fire I'm putting out right now. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie about it. You'd have to say it again.
Lower
Yeah.
the price. That's
Yeah, the only other thing that you could do, Rosa, is you possibly could offer or ask the seller to offer some buyer concessions, for closing, maybe a buy down, at the right offer, and then maybe if the offer comes in at full price or something like that, and and actually market it that way. That might at least get you not only some additional activity, but there may be that buyer or the agent that thinks that they're priced out and can't get enough help. I tried that with excuse me. I also tried that with one of the listings. It did not work, but what it did do is it got the seller to then reduce the price. So we
how
start
can
off.
how can we put it on the remarks without getting in trouble with all these new rules?
I believe that you can that you without getting in trouble, you can put in, that the buyer excuse me, the seller will consider, and Michael, I know you're pretty good on the legal part. The seller will consider helping buyers toward their closing or toward a buy down. I believe
Put a number. You just
I
can't put
believe
a number. Elgin's right. You just can't
yeah.
put a number.
You
Yeah, I
can't put a
believe
number,
you-
and you can't mention buyer's
Commission.
agent compensation.
Right. So yeah.
But I can say seller will consider credit towards buyer's buy down, rate buy down, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, something. Yeah, yeah. As like Nate said, I don't think you can put a specific number, and you should use words like may consider, possibly will consider. You don't want to guarantee it, which you shouldn't have done
Right.
anyway. But yeah, but I mean that might open up some doors for you, and for that type of part of it too. I make sure that those type of remarks go into the part that's syndicated to the Zillows and to the other websites, even more so than to the agents, because that way, if you put it in, and that goes on the websites and stuff, and then I'll put in there for them to contact me directly, and that means you may pick up a couple of buyers. You might be able to do it yourself, and then you can work the numbers for your seller a little bit better since they're trying to break even, you know. So you might want to do that.
I saw a writing another listing that says property qualifies for some type of buy down, but it was in the public remarks for it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
Good job. Good job. All right. Who else? Ariel, are you out there?
I think Sid had something to jump in on Rosa's comment.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Sid.
No, that's okay. I just want to say, have you guys familiar with the MLS hack? Where if you've had a property on the MLS for more than 30 days, this is what my managing broker told me here in Oregon, so I'm sure it's similar to other ones. If you change the front of the house photo and rewrite the description, it triggers the algorithm on all the third-party sites, and it kind of pulls it back up so that it's at the top of the list.
What?
Oh, nice.
Let's try that. I'll try that right now.
Well, before you do that, Oregon is different than California.
Yes.
What we do, Rosa, what we do when we do that, we put it on hold for 3 days and then put it back, it'll pop back up. That's your easiest way here.
Really? Okay.
If you put the property on hold, BOM, back on, it pops it back. Elgin's shaking his head. He probably does that too. So that's an easy way to do it. I don't know about what Sid, because it's different, so different from state to state. But if you put it on hold, it'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard that on a national level as well, that works. It's just changing out the front of the house photo, and readjusting, rewriting your description. Take the description, put it into your
I'll do it all. I'll do all of it. I put it on hold.
Take the description, put it in the chat GPT,
Yeah.
and you ask chat GPT to rewrite this description, and within milliseconds it has it all rewritten for you. I just quickly proof it just to see there's no little typo things, and I paste it back in, and away we go.
That's a good one. Okay.
Well, too, let's have some. I'm sure Nate can attest to this too. Make sure that your client has some patience, because you may have it, in a well priced range, but at least what I'm seeing, stuff's just not selling as quickly, even unless it's a deal, not
No,
just a
it's, yeah,
steal, but a deal. Otherwise, it's taking a minute. So
yeah,
I just tell my sellers that up front, man, it's taking a minute, and especially if they don't want to or don't have the ability
to
to
lower the
reduce the
price.
price.
Yeah.
And I'm even telling the ones that I get to reduce the price that don't think at this point that means it's going to sell tomorrow. That just means that, hopefully we'll get a little bit more activity and I can go back to people because I got people looking at them. Yeah, people looking at them all day and then they're not necessarily
Yeah.
writing the offers on it. So, I was just been telling my people that, obviously we're doing our job marketing it because people like it enough online to come see it. So they eliminate stuff. They don't want to come see it if they don't like it, at least online. Then I tell them if they get there, they don't make you offers, then it's generally one of a couple of things. Either after they get there, they look at it, they do not feel it's worth, for whatever reason, it's worth the value of the price that we're offering, or it doesn't look as good in person or something. But if they're not making you any offers, but they're coming to see it, it's not the marketing. And whatever it is at that particular point, if you don't have the ability to adjust that, like maybe they don't like the bedroom sizes,
Yeah.
something like that. Not a lot you can do, but to reduce the price down.
Yeah, he keeps telling me, "Don't worry, I'm not in a hurry. I'll give it a couple more months. I'll give it a couple more months." He keeps telling me that. So that when I ask for a price reduction, he's like, "I'm not in a hurry, but I do want to sell it. But do want to sell it." So that's what, and
I
we get
believe
updates.
this is a good exercise, and just being upfront in reality. You're going to do a great job, right? You do a great job selling it, marketing, and everything like this. But the fact of the matter is the price of the house, right? And
Yeah,
the value, what he needs out of it, trying to sell it within a year with what the market's done in that area. This is a situation we're in. So I'm going to do my best. This is what we're going to get. And, with the people that see it, when you can get an offer, then he get hit in the face. Okay, I got an offer in front of me now. Now I've got to make that decision. So, when the people are coming in, let them know, like you said, hey, they're flexible. But setting up expectations, being honest, straightforward, and then just doing your best for it is the best thing that you can do. And you seem to be doing that right now. So good job.
thank you all.
Hey, this is worth the call this morning, right here, learning that. Thank you, Sid, for that. Johnny Lopez, you on here?
Yes, sir.
Johnny, what's new in your world, bro?
Nothing, just we wrapped up some, like Jamie said, some open houses this weekend. The first day
Okay.
we got about 12 clients, and the second was about 4. Kind of helped her with their profile. Saturday, got the business cards lined out. Next week we got our home event. We're doing a home expo, New Mexico Home Expo with the lender. We kind of bought the booth out, so we're hoping to get a lot of leads there that we can hit this the season good. People are starting to come out. The cold's going away. I think this is the hottest day in New Mexico of the year. Birds are twerping, so we're ready for it.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. Always great to see you on our call.
Thank
Ariel,
you.
are you on here? Ariel?
That's my wife. She may be a little shy. She's at work right now. I told her to jump on so she
Okay,
can
no problem.
start. Yeah.
No problem.
Did you guys get the info on the co-sponsoring? Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's weird. I want to bring up that I was going to say for the things that I do, I want to offer this opportunity, at least for sure for the people in California. I've spread out and I've done a lot of sponsoring all through the state and everything. And I generally work with some newer agents. But if you're outside of the area, part of my new thing going on is 2-for-1s. If I have somebody in maybe a little close, but if I'm here in Santa Clarita, if I got somebody in Westlake, I may set up, hey, Nate, let's combine this together and co-sponsor. If I have somebody in Sacramento, if it's not, can't be you, Frank, but Aria, April, let's co-sponsor and get this done together. So
You know what I was thinking with that with this group that's here. So guys, like, and you tell me if I'm wrong and if I'm understanding it incorrect, please tell me. But so like I can't co-sponsor with Frank, I can't co-sponsor with Elgin, nobody that's in my line. But
Correct.
like, but here's what I'm wondering, why would I not, if I'm sponsoring a human being and I like Michael's gives a lot of value to me. Why wouldn't I just call Michael if I didn't have, even if they were local, and say, Michael, do you want to co-sponsor this person with me, and then he gets paid and I get paid? Couldn't, and why wouldn't Michael say, hey Nate, do you want to co-sponsor this person? It doesn't take anything away. Does that make any sense? We just can't do it in our own line. That's right, right?
yeah,
Top or bottom.
right.
But like Michael and I, Elgin sponsored Michael, but he's not in my line.
It just moves everybody down one, basically. You know what I'm saying?
So you'd be
'Cause
helping. So it'd be helping four to move down. Yeah,
yeah.
but
So
you
I
know,
mean, but it's worth it to me because, like you said, hey, we're getting everybody's growing, and if people looked at it more like that and say, oh, as long as you're not, everybody's growing and get support, so everybody's doing better and looking to do it more, probably. You're right.
yeah.
I'll tell
Because to
you
be
guys
honest
too,
with you,
Michael. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Because to be honest with you, Michael, you give a lot, so you're just a perfect example for me. I don't like if I've got a couple people I'm about to sponsor, a couple people of are newer. Now we have our own training, but why wouldn't it benefit if I can benefit you? That's like I want to do that, right? So
Right.
why wouldn't I just have you I'm getting ready to sign three. I signed three last month, I think, two newer people. They're not going to blow up hundreds of thousands of revenue share people anyway. Like, why wouldn't I just say, Michael, you want to co-sponsor so I could throw you a few bucks? You know what I mean? Does that make any
Right.
sense? So then that would be a good thing, right? Am I looking at it wrong?
No, you're looking at 100% right. I think.
Michael's like, yeah, that's a great thing.
Well, no, but I mean that's the
Yeah,
thing.
well, you can do that with me too. That's
Yeah.
my point. I mean, we can't do it in our own lines, but we can
Right.
do it. Like I have one coming in San Diego, and I'm going to co-sponsor it with Whistle.
Right.
So Whistle gets inserted in my line. He gets a bump. I get, oh, cool, Nate. You know, it's a good relationship thing to throw a bone here and there when it's not hurting you really that much anyway. I think it's a great thing to do.
The only one
So,
question I have about co-sponsorship is, can we do it back and forth? And that's the only one. Can you co-sponsor me? Now that puts me in your line. Can I co-sponsor with you? So I'm sponsoring you to do. Is
yeah.
there? Can we go back and forth that way? So I'm sponsoring with you. I would like to think that we can, but I don't know if that has ever been formally asked and answered.
Well, we know who to ask. We got all the right people to ask. So they're
Right.
going to formally announce it, but it sounded to me like I talked it over with Brent. It was a pretty good deal. It's
Yeah.
I think what it's mostly used for. Let's say that like Leo Robles or is out in Rancho Cucamonga, and I have a newer agent out in Rancho Cucamonga, but I really can't help that agent. Like I just got a call to from Clark. That's one of Frank. That's one of Brent's buddies and your buddies, right?
Clark Broom.
Yeah. So he goes, "Hey, can you handle somebody in Anaheim? Can you put them on your team?" Well, that's really far for me, but dang, if he said if I was going to co-sponsor her, I could probably figure it out and try to help her out. I mean, I don't know that I could, but he didn't mention co-sponsoring. He just said, "Could you put her on your team if I sponsor her?" I mean, that's kind of far. I don't know if that would work for me, but just stuff like that. I think it's more geographical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
anyway, I think it's a good idea. I think it's thinking out of the box and creating synergy with people you would normally have.
I think a
That
lot of
and
people just don't understand it, and that's why they're frozen.
right.
Yeah, it'll
It's
come around. It takes people
Well,
time.
it also officially isn't launched till May 1st, though, right?
April.
April.
April. Oh, okay.
Yeah, a couple days.
I think it's that, and also if you look across professionalism or specialization, we all talked about Paul Frank or whatever. Hey, if I'm going to do all my deals and partners, if I've got somebody coming in that's really interested in commercial,
Yeah,
hey,
that
Paul,
guy's got a clean house because he's made himself famous in all of LAPD, all of EXP for being commercial. That guy's
so,
going to be co-sponsoring like crazy.
yeah. So we'll grow.
Okay. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're okay. Does anybody else have anything?
Greg, I know you did last week, but do you have anything specific you could talk about Cabo? Any like specific? I know based upon our topic today, we're ending the first quarter and all that. Or does anybody have anything to say in regarding what we're doing to start the second quarter?
Well, there was nothing earth-shattering in Cabo for any new announcements other than obviously co-sponsoring. And now they're doing a lot of stuff on the back end, which I'm not very tech savvy. That's why I leave everything to Chris. But, Leo Pereira was just very emphatic talking about our competition like Real and Compass and LPT. And he goes, guys, and I'm sure he was motivating the troops. He goes, everybody's trying to copy us and they just aren't the same. They just aren't. LPT is making a run, like everybody knows. They just got into California, but you also have something called Epic, which I know a lot of you people have heard about. And so, no, there was nothing really. Brent just got everybody in. I would, if you guys get a chance to go to Cabo, it's really a good event. And I have a feeling that next year is going to be the last one at Cabo. It's like going to a Tony Robbins, only without Tony Robbins. I'm not a big Tony Robbins fan. I'll be quite honest with you and tell you. Do I think he's great? Yeah, I respect the man big time. But I would rather listen to Ed Milet any day of the week. And so, no, I don't have any new news on Cabo that we didn't talk about next week. Not unless, Michael, you found out something.
No,
Okay.
nothing new on Cabo.
All right.
I think just sharing, I was not here last week, so I didn't hear anybody's feedback from it.
Yeah, we know. We're keeping receipts on you, Sid.
Good, good.
It was really, really good. Really good. Yeah. You know what it was? It wasn't just the speakers, and you guys know this. It's like the meeting after the meeting. It's like 9 o'clock at night on the beach, having your drink of choice. Of course, I was having a cigar with a bunch of other people and just talking about people about all the failures and the successes, because you guys know this. We go through so much shit in this business with real estate. I mean, we put up with clients that sometimes we go, I must be out of my goddamn mind putting up with these people. You know, we're not psychiatrists and we're not trained for this stuff. But it's the fact that the people who are making it big are having the same stuff that we are. Days we don't want to go out there. But you'll never hear me say that. And Elgin, you'll never hear Elgin or Nate say that, or Michael, even though I know they're going through so much stuff in their own personal life. It's just good to see the other people struggle too. And it's all these new leaders that are coming up. That's really inspiring. That's what was really cool. I did put on, thanks to Chris, we do have Ed Milet's speech and Gary Brecka's speech on the winner circle. So if you get a chance, I mean, I'm into Gary Brecka because I've been to doctors all my life. I don't believe in them anymore. I'll go to the hospital if I have an emergency, but I don't go to the doctor anymore. Seriously, I don't, because I don't even know if they're telling the truth anymore. So, but that's another subject. So, does anybody have anything closing before we jump off the call?
Yeah, I mean, I got one closing next week. So hopefully you got something closing, man. That's how we eat. Does anybody have? I know we're going in. We're starting spring, so we're officially ending the first quarter. I know that was part of what we had put out on, for one of our purposes for the meeting. Does anybody have any synopsis of how their first quarter went, or something different that you're planning to do the second quarter to get started? It's crazy to think that we've already the first quarter is over, and we were just talking about in January and November and all of that, starting off good for the first quarter. So for those of us that have, or maybe are looking for a way to go, remember it's almost 30 days it's almost 30 days at best from when you get them under contract to when you get a check. So what you got going for the second quarter? There's only 3 months to it. So anybody got something set up for April, May, or June? Because we're going to be talking about, we're going in the third quarter in a minute. How's everybody doing or focusing or looking with that? Does anybody have anything doing different from the second quarter that they didn't do in the first? For me, I'm cutting down on expenses, or trying to look at what's worked and pour more into that. And, Michael and I have some things that we're doing. Obviously, we've got an event here in person if you're in California. That's this Thursday, isn't it, Michael? Yeah, Thursday. I think we do at the IHOP. And we're pushing training and agent attraction there. So if you're in the area, or you have someone in the area that you would like them to plug into the meetings, just let us know ahead of time. We provide breakfast for them. It's not affiliate sponsored yet. We may change that, but as we speak right now, it's me and him. And you're welcome to plug into those things. And so anyway, anybody got anything like that?
I think it's just important as well, like you said, Elgin, to see where you're at. I mean, I'm ramping up. My first quarter wasn't as strong as what I would like, but it's bleeding into the second quarter. So it's ramping up. So I see the start of the second quarter coming, which tells me I should have been doing this stuff even more fourth quarter. but as it's coming, you see it's coming. And so it's just there. And then the evaluation of the first quarter and seeing what I need to change and do more of, and like you said, cut costs and focus where my spending and time is going to be. So that's what I've been evaluating to it.
Yeah, in my opinion, if you don't do this, one thing you guys should do is, it's nice to do your business plans and all that, but you should do quarterly plans too. I mean, you should have a quarterly plan as far as what you did that the first quarter, maybe where you fell short. Hopefully, you're running some sort of a P&L, profit and loss statement. Remember, we're business people, and then you should have some projections, just like a real company, just like EXP and everybody else. You should have some projections on how you want your second quarter to be, and those things should match up and stack up to what your business plan is. That's how you stay on track. You stay on track, you do it quarterly, monthly, whatever works for you, but you should at least do quarter. So there should be a quarterly business plan now. And if your goal is to sell 20 homes and you sold two, then you need to pick up where that is going to be and how you're going to do it. A working plan to get your numbers together for the second quarter, how many conversations you need to have, how many people you need to talk to, how many people you need to have under contract. And if you progressively do those things and you bring them into smaller chunks, like a business, then by the time you look up in the fourth quarter and the year's over, all of a sudden you'll have a whole bunch of production, or you at least know where you're at. And then you'll know if you need to make adjustments. Maybe things aren't going the way you wanted them to, and it's June, and you may not make the 20 deals or whatever it is that your goal is. Okay, so now it looks like I'm gonna be more like 15. So let me make an adjustment to how I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get to 15 or more, whatever it is. But you really have to just kind of know where you're going and what you're doing, and not just kind of go through the motions. Because you'll look up and you won't really realize anything that's happened or not happened if you don't at least. And I'm not a numbers guy on the disc profile. I am not an SC guy. So for those of you that know the disc profile, there's no S or C in me. It's all D and I. So for me, these things are not natural. Some people these are natural for, but they're definitely necessary. So if you don't do them yourself, you got to get somebody to do them, or you got to at least put forth some effort to have some basics. Doesn't have to be textbook. It can be little. It can be in Excel. I keep my stuff on Evernote and just kind of plug it out. Whatever the case may be, you kind of have an idea of where your business is, because you're the CEO, the employee, the secretary, the accountant, the everything in the business. So if you fail, the business is doing what? It's failing. So anyway, that's what I would suggest for your second quarter. Treat the second quarter like a business. Look at your first quarter. Look at things that maybe didn't work the way you wanted them to. And to me, even more importantly, is look at the stuff that worked well, because then you have to pour more stuff into that than the stuff that's not. So I'm done. That's my contribution. Y'all have a great day.
Well, let's not forget, guys, that it's tax season. And as entrepreneurs, tax season is like a freaking nightmare. Most of us file for the extension. And so we usually do them in October. But 3 years ago, I hired a bookkeeper, changed my life. Friday, she sent me, here's your totals for 2024. Your taxes are ready to go. And I'm like, do you know right now what I'd be doing? My living room to be scattered with Post-it notes and checkbook receipts and everything else. So if you don't have a bookkeeper, definitely get yourself one, because it really streamlines your business. It really, really does. So, all right, everybody, we've reached our time limit. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I look forward to hearing all about your wins next week. And I want to thanks to Michael, Elgin, and Nate for their contribution for this call, because we do this to help you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great week.
Thanks, guys.